Hi, welcome back to the channel. It is Monday. I am Alice, and I want to sort of continue a video from last time about stop comparing and start creating. Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. Okay. If you get a chance and you like what I'm doing here, please subscribe. Don't forget to do that before you leave. And so let's talk about comparing ourselves. We're so used to as a society fashion does it all the time. We're always judging people's fashion and we're always judging people's everything. Why is that? Why is that? Our society has sort of created us in a way for us to compare in every which way. Like we're even comparing in the old days. I don't know if younger folk would understand this, but we used to compare ourselves to the Joneses. Remember that? But why do you do that? I basically think that that's because we're in a capitalist society, and this is the way that our structure works. It's the way it works. If we weren't comparing ourselves to anybody, then we wouldn't want, what they have or what she has or what he has, right? So, there's something that we can do about it. What can we do about it? Let's not compare ourselves to others. Let's compare ourselves to who we were yesterday or the day before. Can we do better? Is there a way that we can shift ourselves into comparing who we were last year? Can we sit down and write who was I last year? And who do I want to become? That kind of attitude instead of always comparing. It's so sort of ingrained in our bodies to compare things, isn't it? It's so unconscious. So when things are so unconscious, we have to think about, how did it get there? Is this a societal, it's just within the societal culture? If it is, I don't like it. I don't know about you. You let me know in the comments if you like it, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I mean, there's some, like the only times I think that we can really benefit from comparing, it is like the Olympics, right? You hear of someone swimming a certain speed and you want to go faster than that, right? Like there's something that pulls our desire forward in that way, and doesn't make us feel bad, right? Because that is sort of a goal that we have. Not to say that beauty and money and all those things aren't goals. They can be, but when we feel bad, when we're comparing ourselves to the outside world and we're feeling bad, that is not good. That's not good for our soul. It's not good for our soul at all. And so I invite you to start thinking about comparing yourself to others in a different way. There's only one you, and the comparison should just be about you, right? How can I make myself better? How can I create a deeper connection with myself, right? I don't know. You let me know what you think. I'd love to have a conversation about this because no one can make you feel inferior or less than without your consent. No one can make you do that. It has to. So when you're comparing yourself and you're feeling bad, I'm so this or I'm so that, and who's making you do that? Not that we have to walk around all high and mighty all the time, but there's a sense of self. I talked about last video, sense of worthiness, that when we have that sense of worthiness, we tend not to compare ourselves so much to others. So I think these two are connected, that sense of worthiness and how we compare ourselves to the outside world. It's a two-edged sword kind of thing where, they can really butt heads if you don't have that sense of self-worth, right? A flower does not, oh, this is a little quote. A flower does not think of competing to the flower next to it, right? It just blooms. It just blooms. It doesn't think, oh, I hope I'm prettier than that flower over there. No, it has its own beauty. It has its own majestic magic. You know, so just a couple things to think about on this Monday morning that, comparing yourself to the outside world really starts to weaken our own self-worth. Just something to think about this week, and take the week and really look about where do I do this? Where do I do this? And how can I shift it into, oh, okay, well, I see how I'm comparing myself over there, but let me become curious about that. Let me become curious, like, why am I doing that? Why is there a little voice inside my head that's telling me that I'm not this or I'm not that? If so, how can you change that? How can you change that? So, in that last video where I talked about stop comparing and start creating, the gist of that is when you stop that comparison, it frees up that energy. It frees up energy for you to release your creativity. And it absolutely steps into how can you make yourself better. It goes hand in hand. So this week, take that understanding of how can I compare myself to yesterday? How can I be better today? Just do one little step, even if that's just, if you use the snooze button all morning, how can I shift that today? Maybe just use it once. And then the next day, maybe not use it at all. Just little tiny comparisons of how can you get better at being you. Because there's only one you, and you make the magic in your own life. So I invite you to do that this week. Okay? Have a great week. Happy Monday. And I'll see you soon. Okay? Bye.